let's just say you're a Pro Football Hall of Famer, okay?
Oh, thank you.
And you represent a town because you were not only a Pro Football Hall of Famer, but the way you played for this town not only elevated you to Pro Football Hall of Fame status, but you're also a terrific member of the community. So you're out and about, and you're face of the city. That's now on full display for the whole world to see if you're in the stands of, say, an NBA Finals game. Let me just choose one, 2. Okay? And your team is not performing well. You have to maintain some sort of poise because you might be on camera. You're a public figure. You're a Pro Football Hall of Famer, right? Let's just say you're that individual. And 2 people from the visiting team, that is, what's the word for it, curb stomping your team out of the blue, starts chirping, from what it appears, in your ear. How do you handle it? Chris, how would you handle it? Let me answer it for you. Not as well as Terrell Davis, who joins us here on the Rich Eisen Show. How you doing, TD? How are you?
Hey, you set that up well, Rich.
Thank you, sir.
Nice. That was set up well. But what you didn't see,
okay,
you saw the 2 ladies on the left of me.
Yes.
Screen, right?
Yes.
There was a gentleman on the opposite side. I was next to my wife, and then next to my wife was another Heat fan and his wife.
What's going on?
And so every time that the Heat would make, a simple basket, they would high five across my face, my wife's face. And this went on from the first quarter all the way till, obviously where the Heat started to pull away. And so that look on my face, I didn't even know it. I was just asking myself, like, how did I end up at a Nuggets game, sitting behind the Heat's bench, sandwiched between Heat fans, and being in the middle of their celebration. And so when you look at me, you see that kind of like, I'm kind of puzzled look. Some people think I was sleeping, but I had enough of the celebration across my face. Yeah.
So, who do we know who these people were? Did you get to meet them? Did you at least say at some point, I'm fine with Reggie White invading my personal space, but not you folks. Like, is that fine? What do you got?
No. Well, yeah. Well, I met them when I first sat down.
Oh, okay.
They were, so I took pictures with them and stuff like that. But they were cool. They were cool people, But the guy to the I guess the right of us was consuming quite a bit of alcohol pretty early in the game. So I don't know if he if he was going to do anything differently than what he did. But it wasn't mean. They weren't being mean. They were just celebrating and having a good time, and we just happened to be caught right in the middle of it.
Okay, Game 5. Are we going to have better seats for Game 5 that is currently necessary?
Yeah, I hope, man. That's the plan.
You're right behind. But by the way, Kevin Love is right in front of you. I mean, was your view obstructed, not just by the high fivers across your personal space?
Yeah,
Terrell Davis.
It was. I didn't even look at the seats. My wife got we got the tickets, and so we went to the game. And I didn't realize until we had we got to our seats and sat down. We were literally right behind the Heat's bench, and so close you can hear Eric Spoelstra talking, and I can hear the game plan and all the players coming off the court and what they were saying and the things they were talking about. But we realized pretty early that these seats were not the greatest seats in the world, and so most of I think some of the second quarter. I went back into the they have a club there. So we went back into the club and just started, having a few drinks and ate back there for the most part. And then we came out like, listen, if we're gonna come to the game, we might as well go, experience the environment, not just sit back in the club seat. So
okay, good for you, Terrell Davis here on the Rich Eisen Show. So you're so close. I'm mandated to ask: is there any similarity between an NBA huddle and an NFL huddle? Anything that you noticed?
You know what it is? You know what it is? It's just recognizing before that game, I remember looking at some of the players, and you're always trying to read your team and how, especially before a big game. And I do remember sitting there looking at the Heat players and thinking, these guys look ready to play just by, the nonverbals we say, just the way they look, the intensity in their eyes. They kind of have this collective, we're going to show the world look, and they came out and played like it. So as a player, you're always trying to look at teammates, and before a big game, is everybody ready to play? And I used to do that when I played with the Broncos, like looking around, and then you feel either good about it,
yep,
or you don't. And I thought that the Heat were ready to play before that game.
So what, did you pick anything up on Spoelstra, like his style, or Butler talking to him, or his style? I mean, did you pick anything up being that close? I'm serious. This is fun.
No, that's serious. What I noticed is that he has a pretty even keel about him. He's not up and down. Okay. And I love coaches like that, who it's not screaming and shouting when things go wrong and then celebrating when things go good. Mm-hmm. It's like, it reminds me a little bit of Mike Shanahan, where he just, even though Mike has a little bit more intense look on his face and people think that Mike is always screaming, he's not. And that's what, Coach Spoelstra was just really, really just calm, and everything he talked about was just, you could tell that he's got a really good handle on that team and a good pulse for the players and how they're coming in, making different moves. I think Kevin Love started that game, which was kind of surprising to a lot of people. But no, man, it was good. It was good. I wasn't sitting there taking notes, but
no, I love it.
I'm just telling you, just kind of from what my initial reaction was from that moment. It was like, man, this is interesting. I see why people kind of sit close to the bench.
I would think Spoelstra reminds you of Shanahan because that raging tan. Maybe that's what it is too.
That too. It is quite nice. That's South Beach.
But it's South Beach, right? Shanahan, I don't know what that is. Shanahan doesn't fake. Mike doesn't fake bake, right? I mean, he doesn't do that, right?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Of course
not. Could be the Rocky Mountain Sun. What's your take on the Broncos? I have no idea what the hell they're going to look like. What are they going to look like, TD, this year? What do you got?
I feel really good. I had spent some time with Sean Payton about 3 weeks ago at the facility.
Yep.
And you can already see it, man. He's already put his fingerprint on the franchise. Like, you can feel there's a different vibe. Again, I go back to Mike because Mike was the greatest coach I had ever played for. Mm-hmm. And anytime I see anybody who is taking pieces that resembles what Mike Shanahan has done, it speaks to me. And so Sean Payton has come in there. He's already sort of changed the culture. You don't hear anything come out of Broncos camp, right? You don't hear anything. Like, he's locked it down. And his first message when he first got here was, "Hey guys, we want a bunch of anonymous donors," and that made sense. Like, you don't need to show the world what you're doing. You don't need to post everything. You don't need to, brag about lifting weights or training, anything like that. Just do it behind closed doors where no one's watching you, and then we'll show the world what you've been doing. And I love that. I love that message that he sent to the team, and they're doing that. He's not coming in trying to win the press conferences. He's not trying to win the fans over with a lot of talk. It is just going to work, and I feel like this is the reset is awesome, and we'll see in the fall what that looks like. But I think it's going to turn not only this team into a team that's stabilized, but am I saying Super Bowl? No, I'm not saying that. But I think they'll be a contender and a good challenger in year one.
Well, I mean, look, and this is not a slight on Nathaniel Hackett, TD, but last year the whole conversation coming in and throughout is the question is Hackett cut out for this, right? Can he hack it, right? And
right.
and having Sean Payton there removes that 1,000%. There's not even a thought of even twitching in that direction of having a thought, right? The question is, though. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, no, because what you said is it's so. Yeah, of course we were excited last year with Nathaniel Hackett, and I think every year you try to say what coach is right for the situation. Last year, I think the exciting coach was appropriate. The franchise had been struggling the previous years.
Yeah.
With Fangio, Vance Joseph. And so to bring in an exciting coach in, I think that was appropriate for that time because everybody was kind of down on the Broncos. And so I'm not knocking that move, but I think now that you've been through 3 first-time head coaches, the right move is an experienced coach who knows what it looks like. Not a coach who thinks he knows what it looks like, but a coach who knows what it feels like, who understands the nuances of the difference between things that you think and things you know. And Sean, even all the years he spent in New Orleans, he had a laundry list of things that he would do differently. And so that's coming off experience, and that's what the Broncos needed, was somebody who can reset the team to just an experienced coach. By the way, who was really good with quarterbacks. We've seen what they did with Teddy Bridgewater, obviously Drew Brees, Taysom Hill. And so I think all of that is starting to materialize, and we'll see the product in the fall. But, man, I'm excited about it because it's not a lot of just talk. It's a lot of substance. And that's what gets me pretty excited about this season.
Well, and the reason why I brought up, the fact that Peyton's got a sterling reputation coming in as a Super Bowl winning head coach, right? And he's coming in knowing what he knows, and that was a huge question last year. The coach, reason why I bring that up is the Russell Wilson part of it. And, and I'm not asking this question facetiously, but I'll ask you, when you were walking around the facility, does Russ still have that second floor office, or is that gone? Best you can tell.
Yeah, best I can tell. I don't know if it's there. I think it's gone.
Okay.
I can't confirm that.
No, I hear you. But the reason why I asked that is just, again, like, things are maybe going to be different this year just from that point, that aspect of the locker room. And Russ having an opportunity to have a guy with a ring, and a sterling, as I mentioned, reputation as a quarterback guy. How is that going to work in your estimation?
Yeah,
TD.
It's. I think it's interesting that all of those things were happening. Where Russ had his own office. He had his own kind of quarterback coach at practice. And no one really said anything until things got bad, and then it became, all of these things became a problem.
Yep.
With Russ, and it's like, well, we always want to try to point fingers to all that, being the problem. I don't believe that was like the single reason things didn't go well, but it's easy to point to that when things don't go well, and we always say that, like, hey, you can have privileges, but if you're not winning, then those privileges they get taken away. And so I just think the other thing that it could have done, and I don't know this, and I'm just speculating, as a player, you like to see all players be treated, and there's never going to be an even, treatment of players. The best players get treated differently. Mm-hmm. But it is striking when if you're up in the locker, and let's say John Elway comes in, and John has an office upstairs, and it kind of sets that. Hey, listen, there's a tier here, and I'm sort of above the team, and I've always told in sports that we're all the same, right? We're all, even though we have different roles, we all have important roles that are important for the success of the team. And I know, playing with John and Shannon and Steve Atwater, I saw these guys, and I watched them, and they were just team guys. And they didn't want anything different. The treatment was all the same. John didn't wear a red jersey at practice. John wasn't taking different transportation to a game. He wasn't doing anything different. He was one of the team, one of the guys on the team. I think that was part of what endeared a lot of players to John Elway. And so when I saw that, then, of course, I tried to model that. So when anybody came in and saw TD, they didn't feel like, oh, well, TD thinks he's better. So it's just things like that where you can keep everybody feeling like they're all kind of the same level, even though we know you have your superstar players. I think that's the important part of having a real good team. I
appreciate it. No, absolutely, especially when they had an actual spatial arrangement where he was literally above the team on the second floor. Like, you know what I mean? It does. So tell me quickly about Defy. You won your Defy, the official CBD beverage of Spartan US. You won awards, huh? You got some awards here?
Yeah,
TD?
man. Yeah,
you?
Like you, Rich. You over there winning all those awards.
No, I got nominated for them. You actually win them, so good for you.
Well, yeah, we won a couple of awards. We won Best CBD Drink. Then we won Best Low to No Sugar Drink out of about a 15 category contest. And it was pretty impressive because we only entered into 3 of those categories and we won 2 of those. So it was pretty good. Pretty good for a small company.
All right. Well, TD, congratulations on that. Everybody check out Defy, which is Terrell Davis's award-winning drink, the official CBD beverage of Spartan US. Call Marshall to call Stan Kroenke and get you tickets behind the Nuggets bench, please. Come on now.
I'm on it, man. I'm on it.
Get on it. Get on it. Love you, TD. Take care. You be well.
Likewise, brother. Nice to hear from you.
Terrell Davis, same here, at Terrell_Davis right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Catch The Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.